Welcome, everybody, to the Friday Night Wars on Warzone Sports Network. I'm Joe Morley here. Took the win last week. Raiders, just like the Raiders, got the big win. It's Joe Morley here with Mic on the Mic Sports. Big time win, about to get the win again. Let's go.
Let's get ready to rumble. Step into the war zone. 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 Friday night war zone. Friday night war zone. Hey yo, it's Phil Flames. I'm with Mike on the Mic and Joe Morley. About to bring you more heat. Welcome to the war zone. You can have a floor seat. Watch them on your iPhone. Watch them on your Galaxy. It's a sports debate show. Straight up out of SoCal. Gather around the laptop. Friday nights it goes down. And we on the radio. Coming to your locale. Got into the third round. Better bring the smoke now. Step into the war zone. 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 Friday night war zone. Friday night war zone. Step into the 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 war zone. Friday night war zone. Friday night war zone.
Renee RC on the beat. Phil Flames on the lines. The Warzone production team on the graphics and intro and video editing. Jay and Mike on the microphones. Friday Night Wars, ladies and gentlemen, the hottest sports debate show in the game today. Welcome to the newest episode. I lost last week. So Jay/Joe/whoever you're being today, Jay, won. Congratulations. I'm joined with Jay Fly. He's subbing in for Joe, who caught a little bit of the scaredy cats right before the show was about to come on the air.
So I got your back, Joe.
Yeah, you got to pretend like you're the most delusional football fan of all time on this broadcast and be
Raiders, back-to-back Super Bowls. I'm calling it now. Let's go.
Yeah, there you go. You fit right in. You're basically the same person. We're about to go to war. We got a jam-packed show. We're going to be talking about Danny Dimes and a little bit of trash talk. They're coming, so get ready for that. Is he the QB1 of the Giants for the rest of the season? Yes or no? And we'll also be talking about which team that upsetted last week is the real deal. And in the middle, I think, is the middle topic is going to be which game coming up in week 2 is a matchup that we are looking forward to most. Remember, this is the show where you, yes, you, stop looking around. You, right there, you decide the winner. So hop in that live chat or in the comment section if you're watching the replay. And let us know who won each round as we go along. I'm pumped, Jay. I know you're pumped. Any final words before we go to war? By the way, you're going first on the topics.
Oh, I'm ready. Let's get it. Danny Dimes, I'm ready.
All right, without further ado, Daniel Jones and the whole Giants football organization. It's a mess. Let's go to war.
Will Daniel Jones be the starter for the entire Giants season?
The answer is yes. He will be the starter for the entire Giants season. There's no way he's not outside of injury. Look at this. The guy's the number 6 overall pick in his draft. It's not like he's some undrafted guy from some school we don't care about. He's doing well. He has no one waiting to take his spot. It's not like Ryan Fitzpatrick's back there trying to get healthy in week 9 or 10 ready to take a spot. Like there's nothing. There's no one there. Mike Glennon is not a guy that you're going to want heading your team if you want to actually make a playoff run. We got to remember last season, if it wasn't for that crazy Eagles benching all their players situation, the Giants had a legit shot at being in the playoffs and possibly, making a little bit of run. Maybe. I know the Bucs obviously probably would have still smacked them. But you got to think Saquon Barkley is now finally getting back to where he needs to be. He should be unleashed in the next few weeks. So you have a good running game. You have weapons, although if you think about last night's game, Darius Slayton, wide open touchdown, dropped. Kenny Golladay, downfield shot, dropped. Then you got Dexter Lawrence going off sides and ruining that thing for the actual win for the team. But Danny Dimes right now should be at least 1-1, and he should have an extra touchdown. He still rushed for 95 yards. So think about today, we need dual quarterbacks, right? That's what we're looking at. We're looking at mobile quarterbacks, dual threat quarterbacks. Danny Dimes fits that. He fits the current generation of quarterbacks. He can throw the ball. He can run. What else do you want? Stick to your guy you drafted 6 overall, is all I'm saying, and they will.
Jay, that was a very good opening argument to your Friday Night Wars debut, except for the entire part where you shared your opinion on Daniel Jones. The rest was great. So, in my opinion, no. Daniel Jones is not going to make it to the end of the season as the Giants starting quarterback 1. I've been talking about it to Joe, Jay, just one letter off, all year on this very show. It's Glennon season. baby Mike Glennon will start over Daniel Jones at some point this season. Look, everyone, I understand he had a good, borderline great game on Thursday night, even though they lost. That's 1 point lost. But even in that big win, or big loss, I should say, but good game, borderline great game, like I said, by Daniel Jones, just take a look at what was going on the sideline. Saquon wants to rock. He knows who the key to victory is, and he's not wearing number 8. He's wearing number 26, and Saquon knows that. I know he was on a snap count, but he was pissed. I don't know if anyone saw that. And him saying, give me the ball, give it to me now, or we are going to lose, signifies to me that he does not believe in number 8's right arm. Also, I noticed Kenny Golladay isn't Danny Dimes' biggest fan either. I don't know if he saw it or if anyone at home saw it, but Golladay was yelling at his QB, not having a conversation, not going over the read that might have been messed up by either one of them, not giving constructive criticism, not even arguing or going back and forth with Daniel Jones, because Jones wasn't saying a damn thing. He was chewing him out with no hesitation, and Jones was sitting on the bench like a little boy and being chewed. Mike Glennon would have stood up for himself. I'll tell you that right now. The Giants have 2 options. Be good enough to win 6 games with Daniel Jones, piss off all of the star players in the New York Giants heading into the next season, have a draft pick around pick 8 or 9, or go to Glennon, which they will. It's not even a question, but go to Glennon, which they will. Still win about 4 games, which brings your draft stock up a little bit. You keep the stars happy because you didn't have them go through the Daniel Jones fights on the sideline all season long. So that way, when Spencer Rattler or Malik Willis or whoever the Giants draft next season, all those star players will be happy and staying on the New York Giants for years to come. And did I mention they move up a few slots in the draft? Pretty important. Choice seems easy to me, Jay.
Well, first of all,
but you already shared it.
Well, first of all, Mike, you're the only human on earth that I've ever heard, besides maybe Mike Glennon's mother or wife, that would say it's Mike Glennon season. I don't think no one else has ever made that a thing. I don't think everyone will make that a thing. It's never been Mike Glennon season ever in the NFL. And second off, it's still super early. So Daniel Jones, he's taking a lot of heat, and he's just listening right now. He's not. You said he's gonna stand up for himself.
Oh.
He's not gonna create conflict right now. It's too early. If, week 5, 6, if it's still going this bad, I think he will eventually say something for himself because he's gonna be tired of hearing it. But I think his play and the team's play, it'll mesh around week 4 or 5, and then they'll be fine. And there will be no more arguments. They probably make the playoffs, if not the Eagles. If the Eagles don't, if they keep up what they're doing, they might miss the playoffs because the Eagles. But outside of that, I think the Giants still make the playoffs. They still win the division. They still win 9 to 10 games, and they'll be happy. Everyone in New York will be happy finally. They finally get in the playoffs since, I think OBJ was there. So, yeah, it'll be happy times in New York. Just wait. Danny Dimes season. It's something that people actually have said and will keep saying this year.
So you think he's going to be there long term?
Yeah, I think he'll be there this year. We're saying this year. I'm not going to talk about next year.
Okay.
But, they might draft someone next year. Yeah, you never know. QB competitions happen. If he gets outplayed next year, he gets outplayed. But right now, this season, they have nobody that's taking the spot. There's no one there. So it's going to be Danny Dimes all year, 100%.
Well, there's also another factor here. So there's a page on Instagram, and it's kind of funny, actually. And this page follows my page very closely to a point where I think they might have notifications on for when I post. And their page is Mike Glennon. That is their name. And the profile picture is a picture of Mike Glennon. I thought it was Mike Glennon at first. But it's a Mike Glennon fan page, and it has 5,000 followers. So that's the only reason I'm hyping up Mike Glennon, so I can send him clips from the show, and they can get me some clout.
How bad is life, Mike? How bad is life when you have a Mike Glennon fan page? That's the guy that you admire and look up to.
It's a pretty impressive fan page, too. Shout out to the Mike Glennon fan page.
How bad is that? Tom Brady, I get it. Kobe, these guys who are all-time greats. Mike Glennon, has he played a full season yet in the NFL? I don't know.
He's been in the league for a while. He's been a backup the whole time. Daniel Jones stacking up L's. You see this comment from Project Dribble? That means I won this round, right, Tony? I think that's your vote.
He's trying to spell Lollapalooza, but I know he has a lot of L's, though. That is true. He probably spelled that multiple times. As long as he has the other letters. Can you buy a vowel?
The Giants were 1 game away from missing the playoffs last year. That's great and dandy until you unveil the ugly part, which says that there were 6-10. It wasn't like they were 1 game out of 10-6 or 1 game out of 11-5. Hey, 6-10. Let's
the Giants
mask off for a second and see the ugly face that's beneath it.
The Giants don't pick the people in their division, and they don't pick their schedule. They win the games that's in front of them, and they compete against the people. No one told them that they didn't get the choice to pick the Cowboys and the football team, the Eagles in their division. That's not their problem.
The Cowboys are winning that division, by the
So
way.
backwards.
The Cowboys are winning that division, by the way. But that's a whole nother argument for a whole nother episode around week 16 when all these teams are,
The Cowboys will win you fantasy championships. I don't know if they're going to win you actual football games, but
I'm
we'll
glad
see.
I got all them Cowboys in fantasy. Let us know in the comment section who won this round. We'll count the votes later. Moving on to the next one. This is going to be a fun one.
Best matchup this weekend.
You take this, Mike, or you want me to take this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got what we're all waiting for. Sunday night, Chiefs, Ravens. You got the best team in the AFC champions coming back, reigning champs. You got the Ravens, who have been so close to getting there for a while now since Lamar's MVP season. You got Patrick Mahomes, you got Lamar Jackson going head-to-head. There's no way that this isn't the matchup of the week. Lamar Jackson's going to have a great game. This is the thing that I want people to understand. This is a Joe Morley talking point probably here, but the Ravens lost to a really good Raiders team, Las Vegas Raiders. Beat them because they're a better team and because they're a top 4 team, I think, in the AFC, top 4 or 5 with the Ravens, the Bills, the Browns. Hopefully, we'll see if they can beat the Texans. If not, then they're out of the conversation. And, of course, the Chiefs. So I think if the Ravens can beat the Chiefs, this just proves how good the Raiders are, how good the Chiefs are, how good the Ravens are. And I think the Ravens can actually make a push in the playoffs this year in the AFC. And I can't wait to see Lamar Jackson just go off passing and running against the Chiefs defense. And then Patrick Mahomes, of course, throwing for like 300-something yards like he did last week and balling out and probably coming back and winning. But it's going to be a really good matchup either way.
I like the matchup. That's going to be a fun game to watch. But there's a more fun game to watch. And it's a game with 2 top 10 quarterbacks competing against each other. It's a game with 2 teams that are probably going to be on the bubble at the end of the season. So this game has a little bit of playoff implications early, week 2. And the game is the Dallas Cowboys versus your Los Angeles Chargers and my Los Angeles Chargers. Look, people, offense is taking over the league. Offense is completely taking over the league. And if you want offense, show up to this game. Show up to this broadcast. Tune in. Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup's out, so we're not going to say him. Ezekiel Elliott versus this Chargers defense. And no offense to my Chargers defense. No offense. We're going to slow them down. Yes, we are. I believe in that. But they just took care or put up some points and stats against the defending, reigning Super Bowl champion winning defense. And that defense was responsible for winning the Super Bowl for the most part. And then on the other side of the ball, you're going to have Justin Herbert. Keenan Allen just had another 100-yard game. Looks like he's playing as well as he ever has. Mike Williams on a contract year, motivated. Tony's guy, Joshua Palmer. And you see Phil K in here, Cowboys fan, saying Chargers versus Cowboys easily. You must have read my mind, because the only game anyone wants to watch this year is the Los Angeles Chargers beating the Dallas Cowboys in front of the entire world, improving to 2-0. Sending the Cowboys to 0-2. Don't worry, Phil K. You guys are still going to win the division. The winning streaks are coming when you have to play your own division. But got to take a shot at the NFC League every chance I get. The most exciting game to watch this weekend is going to be 1, the Chargers versus the Cowboys, and 2, the Ravens versus the Chiefs.
So, I am Joe Morley impersonating today. So, the Cowboys suck. The Cowboys are the worst team in probably football. And they're playing against a top team in the Chargers, another team that's slept on in the AFC. That I think if I have a top 6, the Chargers are right there in the AFC. The Chargers are going to smack the Cowboys. The Cowboys will make a comeback, what you can call a comeback, what you call it in Tampa Bay a comeback. Them just throwing the ball for crazy yards because the Chargers are in a soft defense. And then Dak's going to take advantage of that. Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb are going to go off. And then hopefully Zeke does something in this game besides being a blocker. And they go ahead and they make it look close on the scoreboard. But if you actually watch the game, the Cowboys have no shot at winning this. The Cowboys aren't going to win. If the Cowboys win, we'd all be shocked. So let's watch a game which everyone's going to watch, of course, because it's Sunday night. It's only one game on there. If I pick a game to watch on the 1:25 afternoon West Coast slot, I'm picking the Seahawks and the Titans. But I will tune in a little bit to see the Chargers smack on the Cowboys. That's always fun. And I love the Cowboys. Love Dak. Love Amari. Love Zeke. But they don't have any chance with that defense, and that's all they have. So let's go ahead and let's watch the Ravens possibly beat the Chiefs and possibly upset the Chiefs, and that should be a shootout full of Lamar Jackson juke sticking their defense, video game runs, throwing the ball downfield. Let's go ahead and watch that. That's a matchup of the week. Mike. Sorry to say, but your Chargers are going to win, so you'll be happy either way.
That's what I'm about to say right now. So what you're saying is the Chargers versus Cowboys game isn't the most exciting game to watch this weekend because the Chargers are going to destroy the Cowboys. That's what you're saying?
Yep.
You can have
you'll
your
take that.
I'll give you the round. That's it. It's over. You want to talk about something else? What do you want to talk about? What'd you have for lunch today?
That's some rice and sausage, like that Cajun rice. It's really good.
I had a salad, but I had some leftover Wingstop ranch dressing, so I kind of ruined the whole like being healthy with the salad by pouring it and drenching it and souping it in Wingstop ranch dressing, which I'm sure is awful for you.
To quote the great Drake, you only live once, Mike. So enjoy it.
That's true. And you only get one. What is it going to be? September 19th to watch football. Don't tune into the Chargers Cowboys game because that's going to be a blowout.
It will be.
Ravens versus the Chiefs. Let's move on to the next round. Okay, very good argument. I liked your argument a lot, by the way. Joe would never say what you just said.
Well, you know.
Which team that pulled off an upset last week is most likely to be the real deal?
To quote the great Joe Morley, Raiders. Here we go, right? But no, seriously though. I mean, it is fun because Joe Morley loves the Raiders, and they actually are a really good team this year. And that game that they won, the Ravens are a good team. The Ravens are a good team, and the Raiders beat the Ravens, and they did it not once, but technically twice. Like Joe Morley said, we got to celebrate 2 times if you're part of Raider Nation. So let me tell you something about the Raiders. Let me tell you what they did. They did what we thought was going to happen. They did something stupid, like Raiders do at times. They threw a pick in the red zone in overtime. But then what they do, they caused a fumble. And this is something that I talked about. It wasn't Lamar Jackson's fault. Lamar Jackson, they forced a fumble. It's not something he did that was wrong. They just punched the ball out. They forced a fumble. You got to clap to the Raiders defense on that. Max Crosby in that line was nasty. Their secondary is looking a lot better. Their safeties are looking good. Like, the team looks good, defense, offense, and all around. So you have to give it up. Darren Waller looks amazing. Henry Ruggs is going to be involved. Brad Edwards looks amazing as well. Kenyon Drake's going to get a role in that offense. So the team looks good. Even without Josh Jacobs, I have them winning this week against the Steelers, and I think they're going to make a run in the AFC playoffs and possibly go to the Super Bowl this year. That's a real thing that they could do. Derek Carr to the helm.
I will tell you this, Jay. First of all the teams you could have chosen, it is not the Raiders. The Raiders won the game in like a high school team fashion of winning a game. I have never seen as sloppy of a finish to a game where it actually broke me and I actually had to go into a dark room and recover for about 5 to 10 minutes. Everyone's like, oh, what an exciting game. Oh my God. That was the worst game. That was the worst. That was not filled with amazing plays. That was filled with penalties, bad coaching, bad play calling, interceptions, and fumbles, and it was an awful game. So don't give the Raiders too much credit. Let's see how they do against the Pittsburgh Steelers this weekend. But that's a whole other can of worms, Jay. We'll talk about that after, and we'll banter about it, I'm sure. Let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals, ladies and gentlemen. I sincerely believe that barring health concerns, we don't want him to get hurt, knock on wood, hope it doesn't happen. Kyler Murray will take the next step in his development this season. He came into this league with as much talent as we've ever seen entering the NFL out of college. Now, with a couple seasons under his belt, a little bit more experience, we are starting to see him kind of put it all together. The elusiveness, the cannon that he has a cannon. When we talk about Lamar Jackson, and if he had a cannon paired with his elusiveness, we are talking about Kyler Murray. And he's also making some IQ plays and game management moves during that Titans game that I saw this last weekend. It flashed last year, and we saw a little bit of it, but in week 1, he had it all going. Kyler should have MVP, nothing else on his mind this year. MVP and Super Bowl, obviously, but MVP more than the Super Bowl because the team probably isn't ready to make a run at the Super Bowl. But I think that this year, he goes out there and establishes himself as an elite quarterback. And no, I'm not talking about top 10, top 15, top 7. I'm talking about elite. I'm talking about a tier jump from where he is now into the tier with Mahomes, Rodgers, and Russell Wilson. Call it a hot take if you want. I see it happening. Then go to the defensive side of the ball, led by a very motivated, as we can see, Chandler Jones, as well as Budda Baker. Isaiah Simmons is starting to hit his stride a little bit more. J.J. Watt is on that defense, not to mention Byron Murphy, and the list goes on. This Cardinals team is as complete as it can get. When healthy, which is the key word because there are a bunch of injury-prone players at the same time. But when they are healthy, they're contenders, not just in the West, but in the NFC.
I'm gonna talk about the Cardinals. I like the Cardinals a lot. I got a Kyler Murray OU jersey right here, not too far away, a few feet away from me. So I like Kyler Murray a lot. I like the team, but the two things that you overlooked, they were this good last year, really. Like this, DeAndre Hopkins is the best wide receiver in football. He was last year. He probably was the year before that, maybe even the year before that, and he is this year. And Tyreek Hill, exclusive player, plays with Patrick Mahomes, but pure wide receiver one. If you can have anybody, Patrick Mahomes would love to have DeAndre Hopkins on his team. Yes, they're a great team, but last year didn't make the playoffs. Disappointing year. Lost some games they should have won. They lost a lot of games they should have won that year, which could happen this year. And two, they're playing in the toughest division in football. They're playing with the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Niners, who look good this year. They're playing the NFC in general, where you had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady already, so it's going to be a tough road to even get to the Super Bowl, even if you didn't have the Rams and the Seahawks and everyone else in your way. So the AFC, I think, is a lot easier path for a team to make it. Like the Raiders, they're not making anything in the NFC, especially in the NFC West. A lot of those teams aren't doing anything in the NFC West and NFC that I have in the AFC. So I'm definitely going and saying, and yeah, I know they're talking about the Saints down there, and the Saints smacked the Packers. But I don't know. Again, they're with the Bucs in that division, and they're in the NFC. So I'm going with an AFC team to actually have a shot at doing something like making the Super Bowl, which would shock a lot of people. That's why I picked the Raiders. But there's a few AFC teams I think that could be the real deal and beat the Chiefs, because that's all you're looking for. In the AFC, all you gotta do is beat the Chiefs, and you're there. You gotta beat one team. In the NFC, you gotta beat so many teams, and so many things have to go your way for you to win. Unless if you're in the NFC East and you make the playoffs and get blown out by whatever wild card team makes it. So going with the Raiders.
I mean, I agree with you that a team in the AFC does have a better chance at going to the Super Bowl or making a deep playoff run at least, but it ain't the Raiders. That's for damn sure. So, okay, put it here. Y'all know the Saints exist, right? Yeah, the Saints were kind of one of my other choices I was thinking about here. I also was thinking about the Steelers, but I really wanted to talk about how complete this Cardinals team is, and that's what the difference is from this team to last year. They got a better pass rush this year with J.J. Watt. I know J.J. Watt isn't what he used to be, but he is definitely freeing up Chandler Jones a little bit, and I wouldn't be shocked if this weekend – if J.J. Watt gets let loose a little bit with the opponent kind of double teaming Chandler Jones a little bit more after that 5-sack game. And also, Budda Baker obviously is at the top of his game, but Isaiah Simmons is a key player on this team. And if he can stay healthy and continue to develop, he's a weapon, man. He can be used at all the levels of the defense. DeAndre Hopkins obviously is as good as he's ever been. I like Rondale Moore. I think that this team is really complete. And then not to say, all the talk I did about Kyler Murray in there, I like the Cardinals, and I actually think that the Cardinals and all the other NFC West teams have a serious shot at being the first division to ever all make the playoffs in one season. I don't think the Raiders make the playoffs still, even with their crazy whatever the hell win that was. I think the Raiders are going to be looking we'll upgrade it from the 5-12 initial prediction. A little bit of hating going on there, admittedly, but who doesn't hate the Raiders other than you and Joe Morley? So I'm going to upgrade it to 6-11.
I call it like I see it, Mike. I'm down the line. You know me. I don't even really have a team. I just like whoever I think is good. So no really bias with that. But I'll say this. The Raiders forced fumbles. They pressured the quarterback. I mean, Max Crosby literally pressured Lamar Jackson, forced him to go another way, and then somehow spun around and got him on when he went the other way. Like, that's the impressive stuff on the Raiders side. And then the Cardinals, just being a close friend of a few Cardinals fans, every year since Cliff Kingsbury's been there, they call for him to get fired and for that coaching staff to get fired. So that's something. The players are amazing in Arizona, but the coaching staff, a lot of people feel, has been holding them back, which is a key part to a football team. So the Raiders, we like John Gruden. We see what John Gruden has done for the Raiders in the past, which is get blown out in the Super Bowl, which might happen again this year if they make the Super Bowl. I'm saying they could make the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they can win the Super Bowl. Let's just clarify that. But if they make the Super Bowl, that'd be great for Las Vegas and Raiders Nation and all the different people in California who feel like they're part of Vegas because of the Raiders. So, yeah, I haven't. If they pull up an upset win the Super Bowl, Las Vegas might get set on fire, as well as Oakland and parts of LA. So, let's see. I'm all for it, Mike.
I will say
Raiders, Chargers.
The defense, obviously Chargers. But I will say this. The defense does look improved. That's it. That's all I'm going to say that's good about them. Not good. Their defense doesn't look good. They didn't look good. They looked improved. They forced the fumbles, whatever. Lamar's holding the ball like a quarterback while he's running. I don't know why he's even doing that. But, yeah, they looked improved. They looked improved. And I can't come on here and use the Ravens injuries as an excuse, because the Ravens injuries were apparent, and I knew about the Ravens injuries when I predicted a 34-0 blowout live on the air. So I'm not even going to go there. If I wasn't myself, if I was someone else on this stream that did not say 34-0, then I would use that as a point to talk about also. Like the Ravens offense, especially the line and the running backs, they weren't there. So the pressure was obviously easier to get. But if you had to take them right now, this is they play tomorrow. Let's say they play tomorrow. Cardinals versus Raiders. Who wins that game?
I think the Cardinals have more talent, but I would take the Raiders and win that game simply because I trust John Gruden more than I trust Cliff Kingsbury. I just think that they'll do the right things and things will bounce their way. But I wouldn't be surprised if either team won. And I think the Cardinals should win that game. You would think, but you're underestimating the Raiders. You just said how that defensive line handled Lamar Jackson. He only rushed for 20 yards all game or something like that. It wasn't good. Now he's a better runner than Kyler Murray, right? He's containing Kyler Murray on the run. And then on top of that, you know what I'm saying? Kyler Murray's going to throw it for more than Lamar Jackson for sure, but I think Derek Carr can match that, and their offense can match that offensive production from the Cardinals as well. And then the coach is going to be the X factor. I think John Gruden I'd rather have as my head coach than Cliff Kingsbury. So that's why I would actually take the Raiders, although I can see either one happening.
Looks like I won, Jay. I got a 3-0 Mike in the comments here, so thanks for coming. I'm just kidding.
I saw that. Phil K's forever going to hate me because of what I said about the Cowboys earlier, I think, but it's fine because the Cowboys, I like the Cowboys. I like Dak Prescott, Mark Cooper, Zeke. I like the Cowboys. They're just not a good team. It's just tough. I like a lot of teams that aren't good teams. So it's just tough. I love Andy Dalton. He's not a good quarterback anymore. He's not a starting quarterback anymore. Justin Fields needs to play. So I can admit teams that I like personally, I can tell them that they're not as good as they were when Troy Aikman was there, Cowboys fans, or whenever you guys win Super Bowls. It's not the same team. Not your grandfather's Cowboys, like people would say. So
let's see these Raiders this weekend against that Steelers defense. I got a hot take for you. Marcus Mariota is going to play in that game.
Yeah, injury or just because of how bad it's getting?
Don't get benched.
Oh no. Raiders are winning that game by 4 points.
It's gonna be 27-3 in the fourth quarter. Marcus Mariota's coming in.
I got 28-24 Raiders winning. I think the offense is really gonna show something with Darren Waller because you got to think the Bills don't got it like the Raiders do. The Bills got Stephon Diggs and that's where it kind of ends with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. The Raiders got a few options, and Derek Carr can really throw that ball. So I'm going with the Raiders over the Steelers and a little bit of a higher scoring game.
If the Raiders beat the Steelers, it will be a bad day for me because I will never hear the end of it. I've already got them in my DMs. By the way, if you're sliding into my DMs on TikTok to talk about the Raiders and I ignore you, I just want you to know I did see your message and I did ignore you. I want you to know that. So if you're watching this after the stream's over and you came from the TikTok page, because I am also going to spam the link into the group chats and into the chats of the people who are trying to get a hold of me about the Raiders, who I ignore. I'm going to say, go ahead and watch this because I addressed you. I am ignoring you. I just want to point that out. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Jay, thanks for coming on the show, especially last minute notice. We put into the chat, guys, and Jay just hopped on. He said, I want to. Give me a mic. So I appreciate it. Any last words before I go through the outro and plug all of our stuff?
All I'll say, Mike, is that if you are a Raider hater, and it's fine, the Raiders have been bad for so long, you just feel like it's going to be a gift that keeps on giving. It's not going to stop. Eventually, they have to be good, and now this is now the eventually. We've finally gotten there after 20 years. They're finally good. You can't just keep thinking they're terrible. The Raiders and Browns are both pretty good this year, and it's shocking everybody, but it's true. But that's all I said. Thanks for having me. Laughing Quiet to Myself on the War Zone, Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I appreciate you, Mike. Thank you all for tuning in. Much love.
Yep. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have the fantasy football show, so you can come over there. We're probably going to be grading more teams. If you guys want to grade your teams, we're going to be doing start sits, answering any questions. I'm not sure if you can make that, Jay, or we're going to be live. Whoever's on the screen. It might not even be me. And then Sunday morning, you got your fantasy football wake-up call, last-minute adjustments. Adam Scheffner, Ian Rappaport, they're going to be dropping all the news, and we're going to be reacting to it. So make sure you tune in then. Then we got the whole day and Sunday Night Football at night. So it's going to be a great time. The watch party of who's playing this week?
Chiefs
Ravens. That'll be another
matchup of the week.
We've had some good games so far on those primetime streams. If you guys want some of this merch, like this Mike on the Mic t-shirt jersey, clarified t-shirt jersey, because people get confused and think they're getting a jersey. www.warzonesportsnetwork.com. We got all the merch for all the shows up there. Most of the shows, actually. I don't think it's all up there, but go check it out. There's also bonus blogs, There's bonus content on there, and there's also links to all of our social media pages if you guys want to go and follow. One more time, www.warzonesportsnetwork.com. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I almost ended it on 30 minutes exactly. Maybe I could use your guys' advice on time management, but I'll give you my advice when it comes to sports debates. And that is that you never know when you're talking sports or you're in a sports debate when you're going to have to go to war.
Let's get ready to rumble. Step into the war zone.